seasons moving? Are you moving to a new? I sort of saw a sign in a building, and then I know you have the home up on Weather.
Right. We are moving. Our offices are moving.
I see.
When I started 11 years ago, the offices were in the hospice houses. And then about 6 years ago, we outgrew that office space, and so we moved to one next to Wells Fargo Bank. And now we bought a building just, 2 blocks from there. It's the old American Family Insurance Building. It's a big building. It's a building that we can grow into. So, yes, we will be moving in May. But yeah, we are that's the thing. We are growing both in census and in number of staff. When I started, I was the full-time patient care coordinator, and there was a person who was half-time. We now have 8 patient care coordinators. There was one LPN, and basically the LPNs are the ones that go out and do the every day or 3 times a week or whatever care that the person needs. We now have 7 of them. We have 4 social workers. We just have 1 massage therapist and music therapist. But we've grown. I mean, even the bereavement program as well, just seasons in general, has grown. And that's a good thing. Yeah.
Would you comment on autopsy?
As far as whether if you want one?
Right, and what to do if you do want one?
That is one of the questions that we ask on admission. There's several, obviously, questions that we ask. One of them is the body donation, or are they part of the Alzheimer's study, any other study at the clinic? The other one is autopsy. There are families that do want an autopsy done. Again, that is one of those things. There's not a right answer or wrong answer. If the family wants one, they can be done. And basically, that would be something, again, when the person dies, we just call us and we take care of making those phone calls and getting that all arranged. And sometimes for some of the Alzheimer's studies, they do an autopsy of the brain as part of the study. But that's a question that we ask very early on so that we know. If a person falls, and falls do happen, we need to notify the coroner if a person dies within 2 weeks of a fall. Not very often does the coroner do anything about that, but I do know one occasion where the person fell and family wanted an autopsy. So we abide by that. Yeah.
Who pays for the autopsy then?
That's if they're clinic patients, that's picked up by the clinic. At least that's what we've been told. Especially if they're part of the Alzheimer's study or any of the studies at the clinic. That's all picked up. But again, if that comes up at the time of an admission, we can check with the clinic as well, just to double check. But more often than not, if they're a clinic patient, yeah.
You described several situations, those different situations. Who handles the death certificate, when and where?
Death certificate is handled, that's one of the other things I've heard. When someone signs onto our program, they can keep their primary physician. It's not, some hospices, the medical director will just take over. Well, we just have the person keep their primary physician. So then that primary physician signs the death certificate. That's the person we go to for our orders, changes in medicines, that kind of thing, and then he or she is also the person who signs the death certificate. Okay, I will switch to Marianne. If you have any other questions, just ask.
Julie said, thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you. At the end of life, so many changes are happening for patients of ours, their family, their extended family, their friends, their neighborhood, their community, etc. And as bereavement services, our primary goal is to offer direct bereavement care to any or all of those people. Before I get into a little bit more detail about that, there are two other missions that we have for our Center for Grief Education and Support. And the one is to reach out to the community, as we're doing today, just with general information that hopefully can be helpful to all of you as your life continues on and those changes begin to occur. The other one is education and training. And this is for anyone, including our own staff, but certainly anyone in the community who is involved in walking with the bereaved. So, a parish nurse, for example, school teachers, psychologists in their own personal practices, etc. We in bereavement offer programming to them to help them to continue to walk with those who are bereaved. But our primary focus, if you will, is within direct bereavement care. For us at Seasons, kind of separate that into three areas. Anticipatory bereavement before death, at the time of death, and then the majority of our focus is on after death. Now, let me just share with you as far as anticipatory death. We have extremely competent, capable, and compassionate staff. The RNs, the LPNs, our chaplain, our music therapists, massage therapists, etc., who do a wonderful job of walking with these patients and families. Because, as we all can appreciate, every day there is a change. Every day one's hope changes a little bit. And with each change, there is a loss occurring. So it becomes a question of everyone, including that patient, to figure out how to adapt to the changes that are happening so that that loss can be managed. I rarely go into patients' homes before death because of the wonderful work that our staff does. There have been a few times when I have had that honor, and it's situations primarily where the other members of our staff, because of their daily responsibilities, just don't have the time to spend with that patient and with that family, talking about all of those changes that are happening, talking about that today you're not able to get out of bed. Yesterday you were. Talking with that caregiver, as Julie mentioned. Yesterday you were on top of everything. Today you are feeling overwhelmed. And how can we help you to help yourself? At the time of death, again, it's kind of rare that I would go in, but there have been those times when our bereavement services have been offered. So primarily, our responsibility is after death. Now, for our own families, we do provide some specific services. But what I want to talk with you today about is what we offer to anyone who is bereaved in this same 7th county area that Julie mentioned. We offer services and we offer programs. No charge for any of these. Some of the services are, if you would like to get some information on a monthly basis about bereavement, what's happening, what are some of those normal reactions that come with that process, etc. We would be honored to put anyone on our mailing list, via email or ground mail. We put together monthly calendars of our programs, and there are copies of those at the back of the room for you to look at. We offer individual counseling to help people, particularly during those early days, weeks, and months, where it's so helpful to have someone again to validate what you're experiencing. In programs, we offer informal coffees. We offer newly bereaved groups. These are for anyone in those first 3 months following a loss. We offer specialty programs, and again, there is a flyer in the back of the room. We have a program, for example, in the fall called Managing Your Holidays. Anyone can register for that. We have some memorial services, as I know you do here also, those for the holidays, and then we offer one in June. But the concept is that we are all changed when we lose someone or something that is special and precious in our lives, and we feel deprived. And a normal, natural, hardwired reaction to that event is to grieve. So we all grieve, and we experience reactions within our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. What we at Seasons hope to offer is to help people figure out how to manage, how to mourn those normal, universal, hardwired reactions to being separated from someone who is so precious and important. And we do that primarily by encouraging people to look within your faith, to look within your life experiences. And in doing so, we have the answers within us as to how to manage such changes. But sometimes it helps to have someone who's kind of out of the forest to be able to walk with you. So that's our bereavement program. The question